Hello, welcome to the Lululoves Crochet Podcast, episode 21. My name is Emma and this is my podcast all about crochet and crafts, books, and anything else I feel like talking about. You can find me online in most places under the name Lululoves. I'll put all the details below, and the show notes will be linked in the description box. There we go, I think I remembered everything. Anyway, I hope you're all well. I've had a really busy month this month. I've done lots of things that have sort of pushed me outside of my comfort zone. So I've definitely been craving some relaxing crochet. But anyway, I'll get in and show you what I've been making, and then at the end I will go through all the things that I bought at Unravel, which are still in the bag, so I'm excited to show those, and then I can get on and start using them. So the first finished item I have to show you is, oh, 1 minute over here. I made another set. Is it a set or a string? Of my Boho bunting. This is the bunting that was featured in issue 93, I think, of Molly Makes magazine. And I never got my sample back. I don't think Molly Makes return their samples. I wonder what they do with them. Maybe they've got a big cupboard full of just crochet and craft projects. Wouldn't it be lovely to have a walk around that cupboard if they do? Anyway, where was I? I'm distracting myself. Anyway, so I made up another set of bunting because I wanted to write up the PDF. So I made myself another set. So you've seen this before, it's been on the podcast before. It's just some lacy triangle flags with the beads and, there we go, tassels to finish. So that one's misbehaving. There we go. This bunting calls for about 8 flags, which you crochet individually and then attach. And I think you get, well, I used a 3.5mm hook for this set because I couldn't find my 4mm, so it came up a little bit smaller, but you still get a good 1.5 meters, I'd say. But I think the pattern bunting, I got about 1.8 meters of bunting from that. So that pattern is now available to buy, and you can get it on my Ravelry page, Etsy, or Love Crochet, but I'll put the links in the show notes. But I really love that. So I'm going to put that up now somewhere in the office, I think. So I finished that, and that's just, you just need a DK weight cotton for that. And I used about 2 100-gram balls, but the tassels take up quite a lot. So if you're not going to do the tassels, you might get away with just using one ball. So that's the first thing I finished. Then I made some, there's lots of small little projects on this one because, like I said, I've not really got my teeth into much this month. I made some crochet roses. Haven't made these for a while. I made this one to wear on my jacket when I went to Unravel, and I just put a simple brooch fastening, a bit of felt. Why is my camera? There we go. So that was a bit of fun. I liked that, and then I've been using scraps to make some mini ones. So I think maybe I will make a teapot cozy or something to use those, because I'm not sure what else I'll do with them otherwise. So there's those. I will tell you how I make these actually. You can make crochet roses in lots of ways, but I just use my crochet collar pattern and I just wind them up and stitch them as I go. So they're really simple. What else have I got? Another little project. This one's not really finished actually, so there's some other bits I've got to do. I've been making Easter eggs. I spent a happy afternoon playing around with the shape to get to my perfect Easter egg. I've got more than this. I'll show you. So these are all using the same pattern and just different weight yarns. So this one is made using a cotton DK and a 4mm. This one is a cotton Aran and probably a 5mm. And then I started mixing my yarns. So I've got this little one that's a bit cute. It's a bit fluffy, this one. He's made using the 2 yarns that I made my honeycomb socks with. So 2 lots of 4-ply, that one, probably again with a 4 or 4.5mm. And then this one has been made with lots of different yarns. I think I used a 6mm maybe, or maybe a 5 for that. Anyway, they're not quite finished because I've got some finishing touches to go on them, and then I will post them on the pattern on the blog when they're finished, which hopefully should be in the next few days really. So that will be a free pattern on the blog. Like I said, there's some embellishment to go with that yet, so not quite finished. And then the last project, no, I lied, it's not. Anyway, a work in progress is a granny blanket. I am taking part in Rosina's of Zines and Rogers Granny Cow. I think it's the Granny Cow 2019. And it's perfect for me at this time really, because like I said, I've been doing lots of things that have pushed me outside of my comfort zone, and when that happens I always crave a lovely soothing project, and I do find granny squares just do that for me really. They just soothe my soul. So I'm making a granny blanket. So I've got some multi-coloured ones here, just using 4 shades. I'll show you the yarn, and then I've got a whole pile of solids, and the yarn that I'm using is this. It's King Cole Chunky, Magnum Chunky. Okay, it looks like that. It is 25% wool and 75% premium acrylic. I really like the colours in this. So can you see this one? I'm not sure what it's called. Let's have a look. It's called Bracken. Isn't that lovely? Can you see all the different shades running through that? That's really lovely. And then I'm using the 2 solid colours. The pink is Shell. It's coming up more pink on camera. It's a bit more muted than that. A cream one, and the other one is called Sandstone, and I haven't brought it up with me, but I've got a square here. And again with this one you can just see it's got some lovely different shades running through it. So I'm really enjoying working with that. It's nice to work with. I haven't noticed any squeaking. It's not the softest. I mean, you can definitely tell there's a bit of wool in there, but it's not I think I could wear that just fine. So so I've made a batch of squares, and then what I'm doing, and it is it's messing with my mind a little bit, because when I do my granny squares I normally join as you go in rows. You know, so I'll just do 1 row and then start joining along like that. But for this one I was that's fine if all your squares are joined in the same colour, and I normally do that, but for this one I didn't want to. So I saw Sandra of Cherry Heart, when she did her Battenberg blanket, it was the tiny squares, really beautiful blanket. She had joined with like it was a join as you go, but it was more of a modular, so you were sort of joining them in crosses almost. So I decided to give that a go. So I've done my first cross, you see, like this. You'd have thought I'd have wanted to put those in the middle, but I didn't, and it was deliberate, but I know it looks a bit odd like this. But now I'm confused because I can't remember, for one, I can't remember which way up. I think I started like this. No, maybe like this. Yeah, I think it was like that. And then I guess I've got to do like an individual one for the corners. And then, yeah, some individual ones down here and then more crosses. But because I'm not sort of going methodically like this, it's really sort of playing with my mind. But I do really like the finish, and that was what I wanted, because I wanted all these stitches here to be cream. So you can see if so I like this side the best. Can you see that? You get those cream little V's just joining. Can't really see it on that one. And then on the back, you almost just get these single stitches backed. So it looks really patchwork, and that's the effect that I wanted for it. So I'm going to continue with that, but it's very simple. Like I said, it's just your normal join as you go method, but it's just the way of joining that I'm not used to, I think. So I have to sit and focus, whereas normally when I'm joining granny squares, I'll just whip along, you know. So I'm going to start with that, and I don't think, this is not going to be a very big blanket. The squares are quite big. I think I'll probably make it just 6, maybe 6 by 6 or 6 by 8, and then add a border. So I've got a few more squares to make. Anyway, there's no rush for that, and that's, you know, it's a nice, I don't think I'll have it finished by the time the cowl finishes either, but I'm not going to rush through it. I'm just going to do it at my own pace. I think that is it. No, I've got one more little project to show you. So I'm trying really hard this year to work through some of the yarns I bought, and I realised that I don't buy a lot of hand-dyed yarns. I think I generally only buy them if I've got a project in mind for them. But that being said, I still have a few really pretty skeins of yarn that I've not done anything with. So trying really hard to go through and use especially some of the more pretty yarns that I've kept, I suppose, and not really knowing what to do with. So I'm going to try and use those this year for sort of personal projects, and only really buy yarn when I need it for something specific. So I did use this for a project a few years back. In fact, it's all come unwound. I had a whole skein of this. This is, there we go. What's that? Oh, it's upside down. Cascade Yarns Ultra Pima Paints. This is in the colourway Pastels. So I had this in my stash, and I had 2 of them, and one of them had been opened for a project and wound up, and I obviously had finished with that, and I had some left. So I've started making, but I mean, let me just attach the needle again. There we go. So started making, and the thing is about these lovely yarns is I think they're lovely when you work stripes, but when you work squares you tend to lose a lot of the detail in the square. So for example, cat, you can't really see these tiny granny squares, but they have some tiny little clusters in the first round. So you don't really see that. I mean, I can, I suppose, stretch it out, but all you do see is the lovely colour, and to be honest with you, I'm quite happy with that. So I'm going to make this one into a cushion cover, and I probably will finish up with some rows of shells around there. I'm still playing, I'm not following a pattern, I'm just playing around really. So but that yarn is gorgeous, and that is it's a cotton yarn as well, which is a bit well, it's lovely to work with. I like to work with cotton, so I'm working on that. And look at that, it just looks like one block of, doesn't it? You can't really even see that there's any pattern in there. Anyway, there it is. I'm enjoying that. So I have got enough to, I've definitely got enough to make a small cushion. So that's the other thing I've been working on. And that is it really. I've got lots of projects that I'm waiting to start. I'm trying really hard not to start new projects because I just don't get anything done otherwise. I get nothing finished. Anyway, I did see there was a little pattern for a knitted hat. You know, I figured with knitting that I might just start doing and stop thinking about it so much, because I feel like I'm holding myself back by thinking, oh, I don't know enough. And when I started crocheting, it was very much the same. I tried really hard to crochet rows of single crochet or UK double crochet, and then rows of treble crochet. And I ended up just always with circles, I guess, where I was missing off chains. So when I decided just to go ahead and start to make a granny square, it took a long time to do that first granny square. And after I finished the first one, I thought I'll never be able to do that again. But I did. And, you know, the minute I could make a granny square, I could make scarves, blankets, cushions, and it really opened up crochet to me. So I think I'm going to do the same with knitting. I'm going to try and knit what I want and try and learn as I go. So anyway, I saw this hat and it had a really lovely lace pattern on it. Now don't laugh. I know I shouldn't be attempting lace, but so I figured, I know what I'll do is I'll get my nice big needles. These are the ones that I started to learn on, 5.5mm. They're straight, there's no cables, you know. And I will work up, and the other thing was the lace obviously was in chart form, just to make it even harder for me. Is all lace in chart form? I should imagine it is. I mean, I've never even read a knitting pattern, so anyway, there were a few things I did not know how to do. Slip, slip, knit. That might have been one. I can't actually remember all the terms, but I do remember watching about 3 different YouTube videos just to get this sample. And I will say, I did go quite horribly wrong. But anyway, so I'm using a DK weight yarn and big needles, just so that I can learn the techniques before I attempt to make that hat. I think it used 4-ply. Yeah, I don't want to waste any really pretty yarn, so I want to make sure I can do it. Anyway, here's my first attempt at some knitted lace. Now I can tell you that, yeah, this one, you're not even going to be able to see this. This first bit is fine. This second one, you can see I've just gone all over the place. I think what I'm having the trouble with, not so much the methods, it's the counting of the stitches. I kept counting how many stitches I had left, and oddly it seemed to be right every time, but it was not right. I think I was losing track of where I was on the pattern, maybe doing something too early, or so. I mean, this looks quite good. There's some eyelets in there, look. And this is pretty. When you're if you knit lace, do you, so say it's sort of 8, do you put stitch markers in between each repeat, or what do you do? Because if I can't manage, that was only 2 little repeats of the pattern, if I can't manage 2, then I'm really going to get stuck doing more. Anyway, I thought I'll keep this on there. I've stopped because I'd gone so badly wrong down here, and then I started to go wrong up there. You can see there's an extra hole there. That I thought there's no point now carrying on because it's all out of whack. But I think what I'll do is I'll try it again, and maybe I'll try it again, and I will just keep going until I can do that. And then when I feel confident that I'm doing it okay, I'll try the hat, not before. So I think that is everything I had to talk to you about project-wise. So done a few things. So just before I talk to you about my Ravelry purchases, I will show you a new book, or a couple of new books that I've got. The first one is 200 More Crochet Stitches by Tracy Todhunter. It is a stitch dictionary. You can see I've already marked up all the ones I want to make. It's a really, really beautiful book. I'll just show you a picture there. Lots of new crochet stitches. They've all got sort of charts with them. Anyway, I was sent this by the lovely Tracy. Tracy does a lot of work for magazines. You've probably seen a lot of her designs in the crochet magazines, and she actually has written quite a few books. She sent me another one actually, but I haven't brought that one up with me. Anyway, they very kindly, Tracy and her publishers very kindly sent me 2 copies of this book so that I could do a giveaway. So that giveaway is currently running over on my Instagram. I'll put the details below. So it is an Instagram giveaway, but all you have to do is pop over and go to the post with the book on, and like it and leave a comment, and you'll be entered into a draw to win that. So, but what I'll do is I'll just show you a couple of the swatches that I made up from the book. I love this one. Oh, it's so pretty. That one, and then you can see that I'm drawn to the lacy stitches. There's this one as well. It's clusters and chains. That's beautiful too. I didn't block these. I was very naughty. And then this one I thought was quite interesting. It gives a really unusual texture. There we go. It's made from using slip stitches and trebles, and I just thought that gave a really interesting pattern. So yes, I think Tracy is over on Instagram as, I think, Granny Cool Crochet. So again, I'll put all the links down. Go and have a look. It really is a lovely book. I think you can get it on Amazon if you can't get it in your local bookshop. And the other one I bought recently is the latest issue of Pom Pom Mag. Now, I've stopped buying this magazine. I did used to have a subscription for it, but I found that there were very few crochet patterns, so, and at the time I couldn't knit. To be honest with you, I still probably couldn't knit any of the patterns in this book, so they are beautiful. But I noticed on their Instagram page that they had a few crochet patterns in this issue, so I'll just show you. There's this one. That top is lovely. Actually, I've seen this stitch pattern on Pinterest before, and I really love that. That one's called Water Clover by Isla Capillan. Probably pronouncing that wrong. Look at that, just beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. So I like that. And then there is also a lovely crochet shawl in this issue. Here it is. It's called Davalia. I think that's how you say it. Anyway, it's there. Look at that. That's beautiful. I love that. So I really liked both those patterns, so I did go ahead and buy that issue. So hopefully they will continue to feature more crochet patterns. That would be really, really nice, because it's such a beautiful, really beautiful magazine, or bookazine, I'm not sure. Anyway, that's the spring edition of Pom Pom. So yes, that's it for books. And now I will tell you about what I bought at Ravelry. No? Now I will tell you all about my adventures at Unravel. Okay, I'm back. My battery died. What was I saying? Do you know, I filmed about 8 minutes of this podcast earlier before I realised I didn't have the sound switched on. Right, yes, I was talking about Unravel. So I made it up. I was nervous about driving up, so in the end my husband said, I'll take you up, and then he dropped me off and then drove down to Portsmouth for the children, and took them out. Although the drive was fairly simple, actually. I probably wouldn't mind doing it again now, but anyway, I went up and I met up with Chrissy from Chrissy's Craft, Hattie from Petal Shed, Sarah from Annabie's House, and Shana from Sweet Shana. I'll put all their Instagram links below. They are so lovely and they just made me feel so welcome. So yes, I got there about an hour before them actually, and I had a quick walk round, and I did start to feel there were a lot of people. And I don't know, as I get older, I just don't like being in spaces where there are lots of people. And you start to feel guilty for sort of taking up space, which is ridiculous. So I did go and sit outside. They had like a little river, and I went and sat out there and ate my apple and waited for the girls to arrive. So they came and we had coffee and did some shopping, and then we went out for lunch, which was just lovely. They are just fabulous girls and they made me feel so at home. So I hope I can meet up with them again, because it's so nice to just talk to people that are, interested in what you're interested in, because a lot of my friends don't knit or crochet, and it's hard to, when you're excited about a new stitch or a new pattern, it sort of goes over their head a bit really, but I mean, they're always lovely and listen to me waffle on about it, but it is just nice to speak to a bunch of like-minded people, so I really enjoyed that. So I will show you the things I bought. I did say to myself that I would not buy anything. Actually, what I was looking for was some cotton yarn, and I didn't see a lot of that. So I did sort of say to myself, I won't buy anything unless I've got a project in mind for it, but I failed, obviously. But I will show you the stuff, and I'll just pull it out of the bag, so it's not in any order. But one of the things I bought was this, it's a knitting kit. It's a Fair Isle kit for some wrist warmers. So it comes like this with a pattern and then the yarn you need. I'll show you the picture. Now, I think it was only about £10, so I think that was quite good value really. There's the picture. Is that focusing for you? They look so lovely, and I think because there's not a lot of pattern going on there, I'm hoping that should be a nice introduction into Fair Isle. I don't know if it's a bit above my abilities, but I thought I'd give it a go. So I've also bought myself some what are these 3mm needles. It's just worked on straight needles, so it's a nice easy, you just literally work up a rectangle and then seam it. So I'm hoping to give that a go. So that, I'm really happy with that. And what else have I got in here? Oh, from the same store, which was the Knitting Gift Shop, I bought a couple of these shawl pins. So pretty. There's one. And there's another one. I don't know if you can see the colours in that. They look really lovely and vintagey. I don't know if they're real stones. Oh, I think they might be, because they're very cold. So I was really pleased to have those, because I have lots of shawls now that I've been making, and I have no shawl pins. So I was on the lookout for some shawl pins. And I will show you another one I bought, actually. And this came from Belinda Harris Reed. She runs knitting and crochet retreats by the sea in Dawlish. I'll link her website again in the show notes, but she had some really, really pretty yarns. But they were a lot of neutrals, which was, you know, right up my street. But she had a whole rail of samples, and each one was so beautiful. I thought, oh. Anyway, so this is the other one that I bought. So it's just a plain wood, you know. I really liked that. I thought that would be really nice on my courtship shawl, because it's a nice chunky shawl and that's quite a nice big pin. So I bought that from her, and then I did buy 2 lots of the same, because I'm hoping to work up a shawl with it. I don't know if you'll be able to see how pretty this yarn is. It is Sparkly Lace Moonshine, 65% alpaca, 20% silk, 10% cashmere and 5% stellina. It's a 2-ply, so it's a lace weight. There we go. And it's full of, I don't know if that's showing up, but it's full of little sparkly threads, and they really just, in the light, they just sort of glow. It's so soft and lovely. I bought 2 skeins. She had a really beautiful circular knit shawl, and again, it's not something that I would attempt, but I thought I might be able to crochet something similar. So I've got 2 of those. That's not something I'm going to be able to start for a while, but I'll put those away, I think, for now. So I've got those, and then the other store that I was drawn to was the West Green Loft yarns. Oh, everything on that store was just beautiful. So I bought some smooth merino in Levian Rose. Can you see that? Just gorgeous, absolutely stunning. I'm not sure what I'll do with that, really. Something special, maybe. Maybe I'll be able to do a hat with that if I, you know, get my knitting underway. And then the other one I bought, again, because I was really drawn to all the sparkly yarns, is this one, which is a sparkle sock yarn. Mr. Bingley. Oh. You see that? Look at the sparkles there. Oh, it's gorgeous. So I can see why her store was so busy. So I bought those 2. They were the only fancy yarns I bought, because like I said, I just generally don't use it, but I will use those and make something really special. And then the girls were all talking about the the itchy balls. So we found those, and I bought 4. These were 50p a ball. They're my colours, and you know, I think they were saying that she winds them to the size of her hand, which sounds about right. So I got that one, and I was saying to Shana, oh, they're lovely, but they're so itchy, like you couldn't possibly wear them. Well, I couldn't. I mean, some people could. I was saying, you know, I like them, but I'm not sure what I would do with them. And she said, oh, they're really good for like household items, you know, like coasters or, you know, pot holders, that sort of thing, really. So yes, she tempted me. So I've got 4 to work something up. So I'll enjoy finding a use for those. If not, they just look incredibly pretty. And what else have we got in here? Chrissy introduced us to, I think her name was Tara from Irish Artisan Yarn, and her stand was beautiful as well. And she gave us all these lovely little goodie bags. Look, isn't that the sweetest thing? And that's been hand dyed. And in it was a tiny little sample of her yarn. This is called One of a Kind 100% Superwash Merino, and it's a 4-ply. Look at that. Oh, look at that. Of course, by the time we got round to her, I'd sort of bought my 4 other skeins, and I just thought I can't justify spending the money at the moment, but I certainly will be ordering some yarn from her in the future. She was so sweet, really lovely, and she was there with her mum as well. I loved that. And also in the bag was a little Joe's Tea organic Earl Grey. Look at that. How cute is that? I love Earl Grey, and I've not tried this one, so that was really cute. So yes, it was really, I just thought that was so sweet. So again, I'll put all the links to the websites that I've mentioned. And then the last thing in my goodie bag is some linen thread. Just a pack. Okay. I really just was drawn to the colours on this, and Chrissy said they're really good for I forget now, pin cushions and things like that. They the lady at the stall had loads of lovely crochet motifs over lovely linen pin cushions and purses, and so they were really cute. I have not worked with that before, and actually I think I was after the thicker stuff. This is 3-ply, but I will do something with those, and the colours, I just couldn't say no to those. So and that was it really, so not too bad, although enough, probably more than I should have bought, and that was it really. The only other thing I have purchased, and these just came the other day, so I'll show you these quickly and then probably be time to go, these are some stitch markers from Harbour Crochet on Etsy, and I saw these on her Instagram and I thought, I need those. I don't need them. Anyway, there they go. You see them? They are, look, they're like little crystal stones. Aren't they pretty? Not crystal, they're just resin, I think. I really liked those, so I bought those ones, and then while I was on her site I picked these ones up just because I thought they were fun. Some big hands. So that's it really. I haven't really been look at that lovely business card. Okay. That's it. That's all my purchases. I'm on a spending ban. And yes, so I haven't really been reading or watching anything new. I have been rewatching Once Upon a Time on Netflix, and I have been rereading Wuthering Heights. And again, I think the reason for that is I just am obviously craving some comfort, some, you know, familiarity. I think my soul is obviously seeking it. So I do have a few books that I will read over and over again. Wuthering Heights is one of them. Rebecca is another. I Capture the Castle, and all of the Anna Green Gables books. Those generally are the books I turn to when I feel I need some comfort. So, and my husband's like, haven't you already watched this, or haven't you already read that? Yes, I have. Yes, I find it very soothing, I think, sometimes just to revisit things. So I haven't, I did watch, was it Dirty John on Netflix? that was quite interesting. And it was based on a true story as well. It's basically about a con artist that works his way into this woman's life, and manages to, very really smart, educated, successful businesswoman, manages to sort of turn her against her family, and very, very bizarre. But also I noticed on Netflix they've got the documentary about it, so I may watch that. But other than that, no, I am, like I said, binge watching comfort telly. So I think that's all I have to share with you for this episode. I hope you're all well and that you have been enjoying some crochet time. And I will see you all again in a few weeks. Take care. Bye.